What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Pristine review for the Asus Zenfone 4 Pro. You guys already know the order in which I do this, so let's go. First things first, price and specs. Price $599 on the Asus website and on Amazon. All right. Now, I understand that still may be a little steep for some of you guys out there, but again, one of the main reasons why I brought this device in is because, for one, I love Asus products. I'm a big fan. And for two, I wanted to show yet another device that you can get that has all the top-end specs, top-end cameras, and you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to spend $1,000. And to be honest with you, I don't care about the Note 8. I don't care about the iPhone X or the iPhone 8 or the 8 Plus. I don't care about the Pixel. Man, the camera on this phone is hard to top. Now, those are all some good cameras on the devices that I named, but the camera here on the Zenfone 4 Pro, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. Man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to mumble rap real quick. You know what I'm saying? Man, the camera is stupid on this device, man. Not in a bad way, but it's crazy. All right. So hopefully you guys checked out the camera sample video that I did for this phone. If you haven't, it's uploaded and it's on YouTube. Just pull up under Pristine Tech Asus Zenfone Pro or Zenfone 4 Pro / the camera and be amazed. All right. Now, specs. We've got a Snapdragon 835 processor. We've got a 5.5 inch AMOLED display. It is full HD. It is not quad HD. We've got 6 gigs of RAM on board. We've got 64 gigs of onboard storage, which can be expanded up to 256 gigs. We've got an Adreno 540 GPU, and we're running a pixel density of 401 PPI for all of the techies in the world. We're running Android 7.1.1 Nougat fresh out of the box, which according to Asus, they claim that an 8.0 update to Android Oreo is on the way soon. We'll see how quickly that happens. And we are running Asus Zen UI 4.0, which they did clean up some things a little bit. The overall look of the device just kind of looks more of a stock Android feel, much less bloatware than what Asus has put on previous devices. I believe that that's something that a lot of people would slam them over, is the amount of bloatware that they would put on their phone. So it's a much more cleaner approach here. And, you know, things look a little bit more so towards the stock Android feel, of course, with Asus's skin on top of that. So it's good. It's good. I like it. But I was a fan of all the bloatware and everything too, though. So, you know, either way, for me, it didn't really make a big deal. It wasn't really a big deal, but I understand a lot of people don't want all that bloatware because it takes up a lot of the storage. And if they're claiming that a phone has a certain amount of storage, then I understand you want to have as close to that amount of storage as possible. So I understand why people don't want all the bloatware. As you can see there, the phone does have always on display. Now on here, it's referred to as always on panel. That's what Asus refers to it as. But nonetheless, I mean, it's a good feature to have. You don't have to pick the phone up. I mean, you can just glance over, look at the time, look at the date. Here's any missed calls in the yellow. The green is any missed text messages. And then the blue right there is battery life. So that's awesome, you know, just having the ability to be able to just glance over at the phone and take a look at all that stuff. All right. Now, build quality. This phone is cased in Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. All right. Gorilla Glass 5. Front and back. Strangely enough, the phone is not wireless charge compatible. You would think in 2017 any phone that has a glass front and back or just a glass back would be compatible with wireless charging. Now me, I don't give a damn about that, but for the sake of this video, I wanted to put that out there for you guys just in case some of you may be interested in picking up this device and you may see that it's all glass and get excited and think, oh man, it's wireless charge compatible. Yeah. No, you'll be sadly disappointed. It is not key enabled or chi enabled, or however the hell you pronounce that, QI. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So I wanted to put that out there for you guys. But nonetheless, the build quality is stellar, very premium feel here on the Asus Zenfone 4 Pro. Definitely some weight to it here. You can see we do have the big forehead and the big chin. They did not go bezel-less with this particular model, and I'm not sure when or if Asus will. That seems to be the way that a lot of OEMs are going these days. It seems to really be the thing. And I get it, you know, it looks pretty cool, but overall, I mean, the phone is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you know, I got the little rubber bumper case on it that came with it. But beautiful hardware. Beautiful hardware. Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back. Now, you definitely want to protect your investment. I don't put screen protectors on my phone. I don't drop my phones, man. So I don't get screen protectors, you know, but I will keep them in cases. And so I will say, you know, keep your phone in a case at least. But, you know, if you're more prone to drops, then definitely get a screen protector, because this is a beautiful display. You definitely don't want to drop it because you will be upset. But yeah, build quality, I definitely got to give the build quality a thumbs up. All right. Now performance. Whew. Oh, good God almighty. Performance. Snapdragon 835 processor with 6 gigs of RAM. How you think this performed, y'all? I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beast. There's no other way to describe it. It's a monster. This phone is, yeah, I mean, I don't have any apps open, but multitasking is a breeze. I've tried to get this phone to stutter. I've tried to get it to lag, and it just won't. Performance is excellent on this device. Apps, they open up nice and snappy. Multitasking is a breeze. Gaming is a breeze. You can do everything on this phone, man. It's hard to get this phone to trip up at all whatsoever. No, I mean, no little stutters, no nothing. Everything is just nice and smooth. All right. So Asus, they've done a phenomenal job with this particular device. Again, on a scale from 1 to 10, performance, I give it a 10. Straight across the board, man. Performance is stellar on this device. All right, now the cameras. I mean, what else can I say other than the fact that these cameras definitely set the bar? They set the standard, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like that video that I did on that Asus Zenfone 3 Zoom. That phone, I feel like still to this day, I have yet to take some photos with a phone that can top those pictures. And that's saying a lot, because we've got a lot of cameras out here that have stellar performing cameras. I really feel like the camera game, like DSLRs and all that shit, I feel like the camera game is hurting right now, son. You know what I'm saying? Some of these cats is about to start going bankrupt, yo. You know what I'm saying? And shutting doors because of how good the cameras are on mobile devices. OEMs are cognizant of the fact that people, they want to capture the moment when they're out and about and something happens, or they just want to take a photo to relive that moment. Man, the cameras on a lot of these cell phones nowadays are DSLR level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if they're not, they may be slightly underneath, which is, you know, damn good in my opinion. And I'm nowhere near any professional at all whatsoever. But the cameras on this device they're amazing. They are simply amazing. All of them. You've got a dual camera system on the back, the 8 megapixel selfie camera here, a whole slew of features and functions, everything that you could want and need in the camera. I mean, just check out the video, y'all. Just check out the video. Asus Zenfone 4 Pro / the camera. All right. Now, battery life, 3,600 milliamps. Quick charge 3.1. All day battery life. I'm a moderate user. I've gone 2 days without having to charge this device, and still it has some change left over on until the 3rd day. Midday into the 3rd day is when I had to put this phone back on the charger with moderate usage. Now, again, these things, It all just depends on how you use your device. Obviously, if you're a heavy user, you're going to burn through the battery a lot faster. But even with heavy use, the battery is going to get you through a full day and some. And some. But for me, in the way that I use this device, again, I'm in the medical field. I always just like to use this because, you know, I work at a hospital. I do 12-hour shifts. Now, typically while I'm working, it's not like I'm just on my phone, you know, because I can't be, because I'm doing patient care, you know. But, you know, I get my standard, you know, my texts, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm working, you know, on a game day or something, I'm getting, you know, alerts on the game, the score and everything. You know, text messages, phone calls, voicemails, you know, social media, you know, talking to you guys. You know, I got all my phones set up to where when you guys send me a comment, when you guys comment on any of my videos, it comes straight to my phone just like a text message would. You know what I mean? So I'm constantly talking to people. I'm talking to you guys all over the world all the time. You know, so just with that, you know, my normal usage as far as talking, texting, and again, it is a phone, so I do talk on it. You know, so let me not forget to mention the call quality and reception and all that is stunning and amazing. Again, it sounds like you're on a landline and the people on the other end of the phone have no problems hearing me. So that's important to mention because I understand, you know, these phones nowadays, a lot of people, they're phones, but they're not used as phones. They're used as, they're multimedia devices is what they are. But I think people forget about the fact that you still can talk on them. And so a lot of people's main sources of communication is, you know, email, social media, all that. It's like they just completely forgotten about the fact that you can dial a number and you can talk to someone on the other end. You know, that seems to be a fading trend with the, I mean, it's like before you know it, are we even going to be able to still call these joints phones? You know what I'm saying? Because when I think of phone, I'm like something you can talk on, not something you can type on and have all these other platforms of communication. You know what I'm saying? But again, that just goes to show how far technology has come. But at the end of the day, first and foremost, in my eyes, it's a phone. Okay? So the way it sounds when you're talking on it, or how people sound to you, how you sound to them, that's important. All right? And it's stellar quality on the Zenfone 4 Pro here. All right. Now, battery life, amazing. Again, it all boils down to how you use your device. I've easily gotten 6.5, 7 hours, if not more, screen on time. And again, that's just hard to judge because of how often you use your phone. But it's going to differ. You know, if you use your phone more often, then expect for your battery to drain. All right, my bad, y'all. I had to take that call real quick. So yeah, battery life, stellar, man. You know, 3,600 milliamps. It's one of the biggest batteries that you're gonna find on a smartphone that has these specs. You know, now I think the only phone that has a bigger battery that has these specs, and when I say specs, you know, the 835 processor and 6 gigs of RAM and all that. The Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro, I think that has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And I think that only has 4 gigs of RAM. I don't think that has 6 gigs of RAM. But stay tuned because the plan is to have that here on the channel as well. Stay tuned for that. I'm definitely hyped about that for sure. All right. So additional features, man. I mean, where can I begin? I mean, this phone just does, I mean, it's like, what doesn't it do? I mean, it does everything. You saw the, you know, the always on display there. You know, we've got motion gestures. We've got touch gestures. You know, everything is just fully customizable. I mean, you know, Asus, I mean, this is a very feature-rich device, and a lot of their devices are, especially a lot of their premium devices. And this is their main flagship right now. So this has all the bells and whistles. I know that some of their devices, they may have some of the bells and whistles. And, you know, I understand they have different devices for different price ranges. And, you know, that's how you distinguish between what's a budget phone or a mid-range phone and a flagship device. Well, this is the flagship device. So this has all the bells and whistles. All of them. So, you know, this is a very feature-rich device. And I mean, dual speakers. We've got a speaker here in the earpiece and another bottom firing speaker down here, and they sound amazing. Matter of fact, let me pull up something, and give you guys a little taste. Hold up. All right, y'all. So I got a little something pulled up here in my editing app. This is one of the main editing apps that I use. It's called KindMaster, and this is just some of the music that's on there. All right, sound is coming from here and down at the bottom here. So you see when I cover that up, you can still hear the sound there. Okay. Now, there's the bottom firing speaker right here. I'll put my hand over that. You still hear the sound coming from the top speaker right there. And if you're holding it like that, then obviously the sound is projecting off of my hand. So, yeah. The sound quality is amazing on the dual speakers. And I love the fact that Asus implemented those features or implemented those speakers onto the device. Now, typically, I don't really make a big deal over dual speakers because, let's face it, I don't just sit there and just bump music on my phone. I don't really think that that's what the speakers on the phone are made for. You know what I mean? So I'm either listening to music in my Bluetooth speaker, or I'm in my car with it connected to Bluetooth, listening to music through the system in my car, or I've got stereos and different things that are Bluetooth enabled. And that's how I typically listen to music. But yeah, so we've got dual stereo speakers, which is a plus. You have the ability when someone calls you, if your phone is lying down and you want to mute the call, you just simply turn the phone over in its face. That seems to be a feature that a lot of phones have. Or if you want to answer the call, rather than hitting any buttons that are on the screen, you just raise the phone up and hold it to your ear. It'll answer the call. I've seen that on other devices as well. Not too many, but I have seen that feature before. It's not something that's exclusive to Asus or anything like that. We do have the ability to double tap to open up the screen, double tap to wake, and double tap to put it back to sleep. I love that feature. And again, just one of the main features that I really love about this device is the fact that it has always on display, or always on panel, which is what Asus refers to it as. Now, this phone is chock full of things that you can change and customize. This phone has tons of features. When you go into the settings menu, you'll see, in fact, we go into settings, and you'll see there's just a lot of typical stuff that you'll go into. But a lot of the stuff opens up when you go into some of these things, when you go into some of these applications, and then there's like a whole slew of other things that you can get into and change and customize. It's Asus. They didn't leave out anything with this device. They left out nothing with this phone. This phone is simply awesome, in my personal opinion. All right, so my final thoughts. Do I think that this phone is a go? Absolutely. Now, I understand it may still be a little pricey for some people. Again, $599 without tax. For me, it was $658.82 with the taxes and everything. That still may be a stretch, but need not forget, this is the Pro version of this device. There's also the Asus Zenfone 4, and check that out. This is the Zenfone 4 Pro. The Zenfone 4 is also a beautiful device. It's also a 5.5-inch display, full HD. I'm not sure if it's AMOLED or not, but everything is the same. Everything is the same. The only difference is It's got 4 gigs of RAM rather than 6 gigs of RAM. Obviously, it doesn't have the Snapdragon 835 processor, but it does come with the Snapdragon 630 processor. Okay, that's a very, very battery efficient processor and a good, snappy, reliable, useful processor as well. I mean, so it's going to run nice and fast and snappy. It's not going to lag on you or anything like that. I've already had 2 phones that had the 630 processor in it, and it's a brand new SoC chip. It's a brand new chip, so it definitely falls in line with the 600 series Snapdragon processors. And I mean the 625, the 626, those are some very good battery efficient processors. And the 630 processor is no different. So, of course, it's got a little bit of a smaller battery. I think that phone may have either a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. It may have a 3,300 milliamp hour battery. But look it up. The camera, it still has a dual camera setup. But on the Zenfone 4, that is just a standard 12 megapixel lens, and then the other sensor I think is an 8 megapixel for wide angle. So what you're used to seeing out of LG's cameras, where you've got one regular lens and then another lens is like 125 degree wide angle lens. Well, it's the same on the Asus Zenfone 4, and I believe it's 120 or 125 degree wide angle lens. I mean, so you're really going to be able to capture a lot of stuff in the photo. But yeah, and that's going to run you $399. So $400 for that. All right, which isn't a bad price at all. But, there are some, it's in that mid-range price point for, $399 nowadays. I mean, you can get some devices that may be a little bit more spec rich and feature rich. It's up to you, but I mean, nonetheless, it's a beautiful, beautiful device. All right. So would I recommend this device to people? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you want a premium device, but you don't want to break the bank, if $599 is not breaking the bank for you, then I would definitely say that the Asus Zenfone 4 Pro right here is a major go. It's a major go. It comes with everything. Again, Type-C connectivity. We've got a headphone jack there for all you people that still like to plug in. And God, how could I forget to mention the audio? The audio is amazing. I'm not sure what the size of the DAC is that's in here, but it has DTS sound. There's a bunch of presets and things that you can change. There's an equalizer that you can really customize the sound. This phone is just packed with everything. Everything. And I love it. And I think that Asus has to be one of the most underrated companies that are out there. I know that they've got a huge market in other parts of the country, but here in the States, I mean, they do not get a lot of push. And I think here in the States, they're more so known for their budget in their mid-range devices as opposed to their flagships. But this right here is a beast, and it can go toe-to-toe with all of them. I mean, the Pixel, the Note 8, the iPhone X here. I mean, yeah, this phone can go toe-to-toe with them all. With all of them. With no problems, in my personal opinion. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for the Asus Zenfone 4 Pro. All right. If you like this video, you already know. Smash that thumbs up button. Like, share, subscribe if you have not already to expose yourself to tons of videos that I've done like this one. All my subscribers that's been rocking with me for a minute, much love. I appreciate you guys. All my new subscribers, welcome. I appreciate your subscription. I hope you continue to enjoy the content that I put out for you guys. I do this all just to give you guys options to let you know that you don't have to get sucked into believing that you got to go with a heavy hitter like Apple, Samsung, LG, HTC, to get a good quality smartphone experience. There's tons of phones out there like this, that aren't even in this price range, that are in lower price ranges that you can get good quality smartphone experiences. So I'm just simply here to help educate you guys on a lot of devices that you may not hear much about, to give you guys, put you guys in the know that you've got options at much cheaper prices. That's the main reason why I do this, man. So you guys keep rocking with me. Stay tuned. Much more to come. You already know. Until the next video, you guys keep it safe. Please get spiritually fit. If you're not walking in Christ already, please get saved. It literally takes no time to do. Get saved, because we're definitely living in the last days. We're living in the last days, people. No joke. Get spiritually fit and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives, man. This is the Asus Zenfone 4 Pro. I'm your man, Pristine, delivering the content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.